Why, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. For anyone that does not know me, I'm going to introduce myself in just a moment. But for anyone that has been following me on YouTube for a long time, or anyone that's listened to me on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, or Podbean.com, welcome back. And this is a brand new video slash podcast for you guys that have been following me for a long time. But for anyone that's just found this video on YouTube or listening to my podcast for the first time, welcome. My name is James, better known as Jimmy Pancakes 20, and welcome to the Jimmy Pancakes 20 show. Today is Thursday, August 27th, 2026, and we are getting around to doing our final HHN Hollywood final update video, because 1 week from today, next Thursday, is the official opening night of Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. Orlando has already opened, but next Thursday, next Thursday, September 3rd, 2026 is the official opening night, and of course, I will be there with my co-host, which I'm going to introduce in just a moment. And really quick, before we get into the major video slash podcast, I wanted to let you guys know that originally this video was supposed to come out last Friday, and then this week we're supposed to be the Knott Scary Farm 2025 review video slash podcast, talking about the mazes I went through last year at Knott Scary Farm. And then also the Knott Scary Farm 2026 full lineup, talking about everything that is returning, as well as the 2 brand new mazes. Those videos are coming out. Those videos will be coming out before opening night of Halloween Horror Nights. So those videos will be out before opening of Halloween Horror Nights. What happened is, as soon as I put the Midsummer Scream review video out, that Friday up until now, I had some stuff that I needed to do. But finally, I have around to get those videos out for you. So I apologize for anyone if you were expecting those videos sooner. But as I said, I do this all by myself. I don't have a team behind me, and just some things happen, and I didn't have time to post about it. And the things that I was doing, I could not talk about on any of my social media sites. So now you guys know what happened. So I try to update for you guys as much as I can, but sometimes things I cannot say on social media. So I wanted to get that squared out of the way. So just to let you guys know, today this video is coming out, this video slash podcast. And then before opening night of Halloween Horror Nights, which is next Thursday, the Knott Scary Farm video slash podcast of my review of 2025 will be out, and the full lineup for this year's Knott Scary Farm 2006 video slash podcast will also be coming out as well. So just wanted to get that out of the way before we got into the main topic of this video slash podcast. So ladies and gentlemen, welcoming my co-host. You know where you love her, my mom, Marcia. So Mom, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, Mom, are you ready to talk about the final HHN Hollywood update video? I can't believe we got to this point. We've done update videos throughout the year, and we're finally at the final update video for this year, and next week is the opening night of Halloween Horror Nights. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. I can't wait. All the mazes are going to be great this year. So I cannot wait to go, James.
Right. All right, guys. Welcome to the Jimmy Pancakes 20 show, video / podcast talking about the final HHN Hollywood 2026 final update. So let's get started. All right, guys. So as you guys know, my co-host Martian and I went to Midsummer Scream this year. All of the vlog videos are up as well as our review video / podcast is up. So if you guys want to check it out, please check them out on any of my podcasts or my YouTube page. And the very final panel for Midsummer Scream was, of course, Halloween Horror Nights, which my co-host Marsha and I were there. We did do some clips, and John Murray announced everything else that was going to be there for Hollywood. Every single thing that was going to be there, including the show that was going to be in the DreamWorks theater. Do you really think he announced the show at DreamWorks theater? Of course not. So, ladies and gentlemen, the final thing that we need to be announced is whatever is going to be in the DreamWorks theater. Maybe there's going to be nothing this year because we're 1 week away and we still haven't heard anything what was going to be in the DreamWorks theater. I know a couple of years they had it down to the wire, and I probably won't do a full video on it. I'll just probably talk about it on my social medias. But I'm going to share with you everything else that we have officially announced. So whatever this final update is, but the only thing that we don't have confirmation about is whatever show is going to be in the DreamWorks theater. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about the first announcement he did at Midsummer Scream, which was the theme for the Terror Tram. And this was a shocker for everyone that was in the room. And I'm going to play the announcement video for you, and then we'll talk about it.
Come to play again, I see. Well, don't be fooled. When you walked in here, your fate was already decided.
Joy to the world now. Take a spin on the Terror Tram, starring Art the Clown. One nightmare of many, only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Art the Clown is returning to the Terror Tram. Now, as you guys know, we did talk about this, and there were some lawsuits going on. I don't know if the lawsuits got settled or if this was planned in advance. But, ladies and gentlemen, Terror Tram is going to be themed all to Art the Clown. It's going to be an Art the Clown Terror Tram this year. So, Mom, when he did the announcement at Midsummer Scream, what was your reaction? And then we'll talk about all details of the Terror Tram this year.
I'm saying, what the heck? I was totally surprised because of the lawsuits. But I'm glad he's coming. No more Blumhouse. I'm glad Art the Clown is coming. And what when he announced it at Midsummer Scream and we saw the art of all the sections, it's going to be a good Terror Tram.
Yeah. I was completely shocked on that.
So was I, James.
I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck? So, as John Murray put it, you guys know every year for the Terror Tram, they always do a video talking about the story. Well, if you guys have seen any of the Terrifier movies or went to the Terrifier house last year, either in Orlando or Hollywood, and you know that there was a roaming Art the Clown for both Hollywood and Orlando last year, you know that this character does not talk. And how they were going to do the video for when people were going to the back lot, what was going to be the story. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. John Murray read the entire script of the preview video for this, of what the video is going to be. And it's basically kind of like a storybook that's being read. That's going to lead into, when you get there, right as the video ends, it's going to continue right from there. And the first zone, when you get dropped off, is called Scary Christmas with Art the Clown. So, as I said, once the video ends, it's going to tie it into the backstory. Basically, Art the Clown is sad. He does some stuff in the video, which I'm not going to spoil for you guys. But if you guys want the details, I will put a link down below to the Midsummer Scream panel. I didn't film the entire panel. Just to be clear, I only did clips. But I will put a link to the full panel if you guys want all the details. But Art the Clown is there. He's unhappy. And then there's a facade that is, like a normal Christmas house with, like, Christmas lights and stuff. And Art the Clown is sad. He does something to a doll. And then Vicky and the little pale girl comes out. Pale girl takes the doll from Art, and Vicky gives him a brand new chainsaw. And, of course, Art the Clown is happy. And this is where we have the chainsaw guys and girls. And the theme for the chainsaw guys and girls are the Nutcracker characters. And John Murray, I guess he watches all the updaters, and he made fun of us, saying, "You thought you knew what the Terror Tram was this year." Everyone, including myself, thought it was going to be Blumhouse. And then John Murray does this and saying, "No, it's Art the Clown, and you thought you knew what we were doing."
I remember him saying that, James.
So, there you go. So that is Zone 1. That is the drop-off of the Terror Tram. Then Zone 2, this is where Megan's zone was in 2024, and this is where the black phone was last year. Zone 2 is called Christmas Tree Farm, where they have trees that you can buy and stuff, but of course, it's not your typical Christmas tree farm. It is, you can see Art the Clown, Vicky, and the Pale Girl, and they're just doing stuff to dead bodies. They're putting dead bodies on the tree. He's trying to make you buy Christmas trees. It's going to be in a giant barn facade. And, of course, they have Santa's helpers, art Santa helpers as evil elves. There you go. Zone 3, which is called the 12th Day of Christmas. This is going to be at the Bates Motel area, where it's a Christmas party, and of course Art the Clown evades the Christmas party, and there's lots of victims. There's Vicky and stuff. And then I think one of the coolest things that I really want to see live, and sometimes I miss it. But Vanessa Shaw is going to be there, the girl that was the older sister in the second movie and the third movie. She's going to be dressed as a snow angel, and there's going to be a chainsaw battle between her and Art the Clown, which I think is going to be cool. And then Zone 4 is called the Art's Christmas Cafe, where Art the Clown, Vicky, and the Pale Girl are there again, serving customers and stuff. And of course, you're going to find their shoe chefs, which are the Christmas ham and the Christmas turkey, which I got a huge laugh. I'm like, oh my God, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. That zone, I'm not sure if that's in the Bates Motel. Bates Motel last year, it was two different zones where it was Insidious, and then
the Black Phone,
and then it was The Exorcist Believer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's similar to that. It's the Zone 3 is the Christmas party zone, and then Zone 4 is the Arts Cafe. So I don't know if it's going to be all at the Bates Motel. I'm not really sure on that. And then last year, that Art the Clown was a roaming character, and people wanted to take photos with him. So just like what they did with Megan last year, kind of close to the Hollywood sign, you can get a photo with Art the Clown, which we will get a photo with Art the Clown. And then going up to the the Bates house, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a photo op with Norman Bates again. I'm pretty sure. I don't know this year, but I'm thinking they might have a photo op with Norman. I'm not really sure on that. Then you go into Zone 5, which is called Hell for the Holidays. Basically, I think it's that little path area, where they had the purged people last year. It's like that alleyway. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have snowmen in that area because it's Christmas and people like snowmen, but it's going to be evil snowmen. He didn't really do too much detail on that. Mm-hmm. Then in the War of the Worlds area, which is called I think it continues where it's called Hell for the Holidays, and then it's Zone 6 where it continues. It's called Santa Comes to Town, and basically the story is, what if Art the Clown was looking for Santa and the planes that bring presents, and Pale Girl is on this army gun, and they're waiting for Santa to pass, and Santa gets shot down, and the plane gets shot down, and the town comes, and the people that live in the town are the victims of Art the Clown. That's the zone for the War of the Worlds, which I think was pretty cool. And then as you get towards the end of the War of the Worlds area, there's a toy chest where Art the Clown is looking at the naughty list and see if you're on it. And then behind the toy chest, basically evil dolls, guys and girls, dolls are attacking you and different other toys. And they're also going to have a Jack Frost character in there. The Snow Queen is going to be in there. And then they're also going to have a character that's called Christmas Death Angel. It's basically a mix of the... If you guys have ever seen any version of A Christmas Carol, it's the final Ghost of Christmas Future, but a different version of it.
Like an evil version.
Yeah, so that's how you can call it. And then the final zone, which I think is my favorite that I'm looking for, it's called Arts Workshop, where the first half looks like a normal Santa workshop, and then the second half is basically turned into arts workshop, and he didn't really go into any details, or a little bit into details of that zone, but I'm not going to tell you. I want you guys to experience it, and we don't know the end of the Terror Tram as well, so we're just going to all have to find out together, and that is Terror Tram. So, Mom, your thoughts on the Terror Tram this year?
I'm glad art is coming back. All the scares, on the Terror Tram, those sections, it's going to be wonderful. They're going to scare me half out of my wits. But I'm glad art is coming to the Terror Tram. And I'm going to be happy going through it.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
I'm very happy too. And one last thing that I want to mention. For years, people wanted John Murdy to work with this particular band called Ice Nine Kills. I've never heard of this band, but apparently they are working together, and they are basically doing the entire soundtrack for the Terror Tram this year. They are taking Christmas songs and turning it into like an evil version of the Christmas songs. And at Midsummer Scream this year, John Murdy shared a little clip of their song, and they had, I guess the leader of Iceman Kills was there, and they talked about how they are doing the music and stuff, and they played a little clip of the music. One of the tracks is called Joy to the World, but I'm not going to share it with you guys on this one, because I want people to be surprised, but we heard it at Midsummer Scream, and the music sounds amazing. So that is the end of the Terror Tram.
The music is going to be great for the Terror Tram. That one little track that we listened to, it sounds really, really good.
So I cannot wait for that.
Either can I, James.
All right, so now let's talk about the maze that everyone was waiting for, that was in the Persian courtyard. But first, a quick history lesson. So for many years at Horror Nights, both in a lot of years in Hollywood and then only 1 year in Orlando, they have done a Latin America mazes. So some of the mazes they have done for Latin America, La Llorona, El Cucuy, for the last 3 years in the Persian courtyard, they had Monstros, where they had different things. And he promised the Monstros were done. So he said, what can we do next? Well, one year in 2018, John Murdy was at City Walk, and he saw this parade of people where a young girl was in a dress. And there was like
a white dress, I think, right?
I think it was a white dress or something.
Yeah.
And then there was all these girls that were behind her, and then these guys in suits and stuff. And he basically stopped the party and asked what it was, and she said that she was on the quinceañera, or he didn't stop them, but he followed them, and then I guess he went to his art department and something and asked, what it was, and people said, oh, this is the 15-year-old's quinceañera. A quinceañera is basically when a girl turns into a woman at 15, and he took all this information and he created a maze based off an evil version of quinceañera. And ladies and gentlemen, the maze was called Kill Señora. This is the second original maze. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, Slash is back doing the music for this. I am so excited about this maze.
So am I, James.
Let's get into a little background for this maze. So, a little backstory. John Murray did talk a little bit about the backstory. And I'm going to just give you a brief summary because he talked a little bit more about it. As I said, if you want the full detail, you can go watch the link that I put below for Midsummer Scream if you want to hear the full backstory. But in essence, this girl named Lola, her family passed away when she was 5 years old in a tragic fire, but she was somehow saved, and she had all these scars and stuff. And basically, she was an orphan, and in school she got bullied, and so when she became 15 years old, with no family and stuff, she basically wanted to do her own quinceañera, and her birthday was on November 2nd, which is the day of Dia de los Muertos, or
Day of the Dead,
or called Day of the Dead. And so on this particular day, when she turned 15, she was going to create her own quinceañera, and she also, her parents told her about these legends of La Llorona, El Cucuy, and all these other monsters. And so she invited these friends,
her classmates,
that were going to be her court, the whatever it is in the tradition, and she invites them to her family home. That's a burn house family home, and she was going to get revenge on her classmates because in their mind she was a hideous monster, but she was going to get her revenge, and that hideous monster was going to be torn back on them. And she lit 15 candles. 15 candles for each of her victims. This is a quinceañera where no one will get out alive. So guys, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments, what do you think about this house? Now a little bit more detail. He did show the facade, which is the family's burn house, and there is a particular balcony. And I'm now going to play you a clip, because at Midsummer Scream, for the first time, John Murdy played the entire track of 15 Candles that was written by Slash and himself. And he's going to talk about this balcony because it's going to be important to the character. And I'm going to now play the clip, and I'm going to play the entire song for you so you can understand the importance of the balcony. So here we go, Mr. John Murdy, take it away.
This is the facade. So some of you guys have seen this going up in Parisian Courtyard. This is the burned out ruins of Lola's childhood home. And I know a lot of you guys have been looking at that, trying to peer over the construction fence. Hold your phone over the construction fence to see what else you can get. And you've been talking a lot about that balcony up there. That is purpose built. That is for Lola, okay? So there is a character out in front of this facade, but she is elevated up above you. You're gonna walk underneath her to get into the house. So we had to design what Lola was gonna look like. This is some of the sketches that we did. We wanted to show the burn and all the damage from the burn, but because her birthday is November 2nd, the height of Dia de los Muertos, we also wanted to fold in like the calaveras, the candy skull kind of makeup, and then we put it together with the costume design. So she has this kind of fiery appearance, which involves UV. So we did a makeup test recently. We took this prosthetic makeup. This is done by our makeup artist, Patrick McGee Effects. And then he just did this makeup test just like the other day. So why am I doing her in a prosthetic? Because we do have ones of her in a mask as well. It's because I need her to lip sync. But most importantly, I need her to do a song. First time ever in the history of Halloween Horror Nights. Last year, I was at the event. I was hanging out. I was down by H-Lot. I was with my daughter, Izzy. The girl who I had her AI search herself the other day, and she was really mad because it came up. She is known by the nickname "the girl who cannot be scared." And she was like, "What did you tell them?" And I was like, "It's AI, honey. It just made it up. It wasn't me." But Izzy and I were at Horror Nights, and all of a sudden my phone beeped, and it was Slash, and he was there with his son. So I was like, "Hey, let's hang out." So we were hanging out and going through the houses, and at the end of the night, I was walking him to his car, and I went, and he just looked at me and he goes, "Next year." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna have that conversation." And I said, "Hey, there's this thing I came up with in 2018. I've never done it. Maybe this is the time to do it." Kind of told him the basic idea. When I got back to Ireland, I sent him the treatment, and then just like a few weeks later, I got this beautiful piece of music from Slash on Spanish guitar. And then I kind of said, "Hey, here's an idea. What if we wrote a song?" So I wrote the lyrics, the vocal melody. Is Stacy Quinolte in the house? Stacy Quinolte anywhere? Stace, if you're here, raise your hand, stand up. Nope, not in the house. I got to give credit to Stacy. Stacy's our producer, arranger, and co-writer. So all the music we've done with Slash over the years, Stacy has done it. I don't know if Danny's in the house. Danny, stand up. Okay, this dynamo. So we were trying to find the voice of Lola, right? And and we were kind of getting frustrated. And then I think Stacy asked Danny. She had this whole background in theater and everything. So I'm going to play you, if it's cool with you, I'm going to play you the whole track. Right? It's a little bit long, but you'll be the first to hear it. Is that cool? So all of the voices you hear on this track are Danny. All of them. Give it up for her. All right. 15 candles. Here you go.
Tengo la misma que tú. Lola la loca. Lola la malita. The ugliest girl in the school. Why would she invite us all to her quinceañera? En los de noviembre. Un día de muertos loco. Ella no vale nada. Niña sajada. Who cares if there's food? 15 candles, 15 años of sorrow and pain. 15 velas, soy dolores, never goodbye. Su pequeña niña es una mujer. Why'd she invite me? We're not friends. She has friends. Not a friend in the world. Niña huérfana, siempre sola. The poor unfortunate girl. They say that her parents died in some terrible fire. And lost in November. Isn't that her birthday? La bruja. She got niña fea, bicho raro. 15 candles, 15 años of sorrow. Hey, 15 velas, soy dolores, never again. Su pequeña niña es una mujer. My friends,
All right. How many of you guys were, when you were kids, were you bullied? Anybody? Did you ever bully? How many of you guys? Probably everybody in the horror community, right? Or else we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Though the words are in Spanish, this is the point of it. A moment of suffering lasts forever, lasts a lifetime. So this house is for all the people who were ever bullied and wanted to take revenge.
Thank you, John. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of music that you're going to be hearing. You heard from Mr. John Murdy himself. That's the reason why the balcony is there, because Lola is going to be looking down at us as we enter her family home. And
She's going to be lip syncing that song.
Yep. So,
I'm excited.
So, Mom, your final thoughts on Kill Senora.
I'm happy it's not going to be La Llorona or anything again, or Montrose. We needed something different there. And every time I looked at the house, that's a Spanish house. I know it's a Spanish house. And I was totally right. But I'm excited about this maze. I'm sorry about the song. It's going to be a really, really good maze. Really, really good maze. What's your thoughts, James?
I'm really excited about this maze. Like, that song is chilling. Yeah. Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're also going to hear from John Murdy again, because this is something very special. For the first time ever, they've been doing it a lot in Orlando, but I'm going to let Mr. John Murdy
talk about it.
The next thing. John, back to you.
But wait! Waiting for it to register. Oh! How long have you guys been asking me? When are you guys going to have a behind-the-scenes tour?
Let's go!
Now! first time ever, we're going to start in Hollywood. They've been doing this for years in Orlando, Florida, but we're going to start it in Hollywood because you asked for it. Unmasking the Horror is going to be available for the first time in Hollywood. It's going to be Quinceañera and Sinners. Details to come. All right, now I got to kick.
Thank you, John. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it from Mr. John Murdy. We are having a behind-the-scenes tour. Unmasking the Horror Tour. It's going to start the following, not this Thursday opening night, but after opening weekend, which is this Friday, this coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starting next Thursday.
The following Thursday.
The following Thursday after opening night. So like I think the 10th or something is when they will be doing the the Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood Unmasking the Horror Tour, and you heard from Mr. John Murdy himself. It's only going to start with 2 mazes, and it might grow into more. But for the first 2 mazes, they're doing the ones on the upper lot, which is the behind-the-scenes tour of Sinners and Quinceañera. And my co-host Martian and I will be doing it. And we looked at it. Ticket prices ranges from $20 to, I think the most is $30 as he gets closer to Halloween. But starting at $20, going up to $30. We will be doing that. And just to let you guys know, I did look into this. It's only admission for the behind-the-scenes tour. That does not give you admission to the daytime park. So it's only going to be for the behind-the-scenes tour, and then you have to leave, which that will be the only thing that we will be doing because we want to experience this and do it for the first time ever and bring it along with you. I don't know about filming and stuff, but yeah, that's going to be cool to check out and try for the first time ever.
It's going to be cool. I can't wait.
I cannot wait either. So, now we move on to scare zones. We're going to do this. So, he did announce the scare zone for French Street, which is called El Circus de Motos. It is going to be a circus-themed scare zone or a traveling circus-themed scare zone. And it's basically going to have these different characters like the ringleader. It's going to have a stilt walker character. Basically anything that you would find in a circus. And that's going to be the scare zone that you have to walk through once you exit Quinceañera. So, Mom, your thoughts on that?
Really nice. It goes with the theme. I'm glad they're keeping it with Quinceañera because that's like a Spanish thing, and this is going to be Spanish on the scare zone. So I'm happy for that.
Right.
What about you, James?
I am happy about this too. So next one, we finally know the scare zone that's going to be in the front of the park, which is where the Chainsaw Guys and Girls are, which is called Hackers. Very obvious name because, as you guys know, there are hackers out there that play Fortnite, and it was just a funny name, and I enjoyed it because it ties to the scare zone, which is on New York Street, Fortnitemares. There you go. Really have nothing really to say about that.
Neither do I. I never played Fortnite, so I don't know what it's all about. Mm-hmm. But putting those two together, that was great on John Murdy's part.
Right. Then we have a confirmed that we are going to have a scare zone back at the entrance of the Terror Tram this year, or the studio tour entrance. He didn't go really too much detail into this one, but it's called it is called Blood Bond. It's some kind of swamp theme scare zone. They're gonna have a stilt walking character in there, and ghillie suit performers. I don't really know what the theme of this one is. I'm a little confused.
So am I, James. So I don't know.
I have no idea. Then and then we have some street
Scare zones?
No, street experiences. Last year we had Murder Crows was a scare zone in front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter area. But now this year they're calling it a street experience. So I don't know if they're going to be back in front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but the Murder Crows are back this year, so I'm happy about that.
That's my favorite scare zone each year.
Well, we don't know if it's a scare zone this year or if it's
experience, but I'll be happy with it, James.
Right. We have another one that's a brand new one called Streak of the Banshee. They are bringing back a four-legged stilt walker. The last time that we had a four-legged stilt walker was in a scare zone a long time ago. I think it was called Spirit of the East. It was a scare zone that was on the New York street, but I don't remember what year. But this is another street experience. Then we have another one, which I'm going to let Mr. John Murdy talk about, which is going to be the one for Day of the Dead in the Universal Plaza. So, Mr. John Murdy, take it away again.
There's more. We also have what I call HHN's character encounters or experiences. And these are just the places in the park where you don't expect to see anything, but something shows up. So, for example,
we already talked about Murder Crows. We know Murder Crows is back.
Right.
And here's a little bit more detail from Mr. John Murdy himself.
Murder of Crows. The Crows are back in town, so you're going to see your favorite Crow characters that we've had like the last several years. Baby Crow will be back as well. We have some new looks for our grounded Crow characters, created a whole new look for them. That's their look. And then just for fun, because there's the escalator, and people are always taking pictures of that lay-down yard we have next to the Ozzy Osbourne house. And they're like, look at all that Egyptian statues. They're doing an Egyptian theme. No, we're not. We just took the Horus statue, put a beak on it, and painted it black. Instant Crow. We also have...
We already talked about Street of the Banshee. Here's a little bit more detail from Mr. John Murdy.
Shriek of the Banshee, and this is to bring back a type of character that we did several years ago. We haven't done it recently, so four-legged stilt walker. This is kind of around the decision hub before the fast ride. That's the scope for that character.
Now, we have another one, which is Hamikuma. He's a famous character from Japan, and he was very popular. They brought it to Horror Nights a couple years ago in Hollywood, and then also it was there in Orlando. I don't know if they did it in Orlando or not. I'm not really sure on that. But we know we had a couple years in Hollywood, and they also brought him to Horror Unleashed in Vegas. So here's a little bit more detail from Mr. John Murdy about this character.
See this guy walking around today? Hami Kuma will be back as well. In the universe.
Now here is the characters for Day of the Dead. In the Persian Courtyard, Mr. John Murray is going to talk more details, but also this is where you can get food and drink because there's bar and some food places in there as well. Here you go.
Universal Plaza was just Dia de los Muertos. This is the new look of our Stillwalker characters. I'm going to be in the plaza. And that's it. That's everything. I have nothing more. Or am I forgetting something? Or should we say someone?
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is official that Mr. Art the Clown will be back roaming the Universe Park again as a roaming character. So last year, he was just in his black and white suit. You never know where he was. He could have been on the lower lot. He could have been on the H lot. He could have been in one of the stores. He could have been in one of the restaurants. But he is back. But they changed it up this year. And I'm going to let Mr. John Murdy tell you the changes. And take it away, Mr. John Murdy.
Last year, we did an experiment. I went to like our vice president of retail, and I was like, I know we never let characters in the store, but we're going to make an exception for this. Last year, we tried something where we had art in different parts of the park, and you never knew where he was going to turn up. From the reception I heard from you guys, it sounded like you liked it. So we're going to bring it back with a new twist. These are the looks of all the different arts. We're kind of going through the whole.
So, for this year, you don't know what art decline you're going to see. So he could be dressed in his normal black suit with no blood on it. Then you could have Art the Clown with his black suit covered in blood, carrying the spiked baseball bat. You could see Art the Clown with a Christmas hat with his black suit covered in blood with a hammer and something else in his other hand. Or you could see him dressed as Santa Art in the Santa suit, covered in blood with the famous axe in both of his hands. So
you never know where he is.
You never know where he is. I don't know.
And what costume he's going to be in.
We don't know if it's going to be form roaming Art the Clowns in these different costumes, or if it's going to be just one guy, and you never know what art you're going to have. You heard from Mr. John Murray. He didn't give too much detail. But,
no, he didn't.
But Art the Clown is back roaming the park again for a second year in a row. And your thoughts on that, Mom?
I'm happy. I'm happy he's going to be roaming around again, scaring people. But I'm really happy for it.
And seriously, that's it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you think that was it. But we have one more surprise. And Mr. John Murray, I'm going to let you say it, and then I'm going to give a little bit more content to it, because we found some more information out. John, take it away.
Really? What possibly more could I do for you? Okay. again, credit where credit is due. Somebody on X sent me a video of Curry talking about Halloween Horror Nights, right? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. He was just talking about how he's a big fan of Horror Nights and he comes every year. And I'd just seen Obsession, and Obsession's a great film. And it was late. I mean, we're talking like late in our process. But we rallied the troops. So I'm not going to give you all the details today. Aww. But what I can tell you is Nikki is out there somewhere. You kind of got to get into like a Where's Waldo type mentality. She's out there somewhere. And she might be looking for her next obsession. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Mr. John Murdy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a section is going to be a part of Halloween Horror Nights this year. And we are going to have a second walk-around character, which is going to be Nikki from Obsession. If you guys don't know what Obsession is, it's basically this guy who I'm trying to remember the plot. I don't know if he went on a date with her or if this was his ex-girlfriend. I don't even remember. I do remember seeing this movie briefly. Clips of it and stuff like that. I haven't seen the full movie, but I watched clips and stuff of it so I could understand. I just don't remember if he went on a date with her or it was the ex-girlfriend. But she can't stop obsessing over him. And that's the whole point of this movie. So
that's why it's called Obsession.
Exactly. And so what Mr. John Murdy said is that she is out there somewhere in the park looking for her next obsession. So not only are you going to have Art the Clown roaming,
we're going to have her roaming around.
We're going to have Nikki roaming around too. Now,
so 2 characters in one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, that was all the information that we got from Midsummer Scream. Now, a couple days ago, we had some people that were doing tours with Mr. John Murdy, and people asked him about Obsession, the walk-around character with Obsession. And John Murdy quoted, and I'm going to read this carefully. He said, because a lot of different people asked him this question, and he said, for the first time in a very long time, if you do find Nikki and you give her the password, she's going to give you a wish. Now, if you guys don't know what we are talking about, back in the day, I think it started in 2011 with Hostel. Every night, Mr. John Murdy would tweet out a password. And if you found a certain character and you gave them the password, you would get something from him, or from this particular character. So I know for Hostel you got like a business card. For Krampus it was like a poster, a Christmas post.
And
Ghost event or Ghost Busters in 2019, it was like Loomis business card.
Yes.
So it was like different ones. And so for this year, he wanted to bring back the Twitter password thing where he's going to tweet out a new password every night. And if you do find Nikki, and you give her the correct password, she's going to give you a wish. Now, it could be a good wish, Or it could be a bad wish. Who knows?
I don't want the bad wishes. I want the good wishes.
So, it was confirmed, a lot of people did ask. So, if you guys want to find it and confirm for yourself, I just look up behind the scenes footage or walkthroughs with John Murdy this year, where he took certain YouTubers and media people, and a lot of, like, 3 different videos that I watched, people asked him about Nikki, and he did confirm it multiple times, and probably it's also on TikTok, Instagram. I found it on different sources of him confirming that he is bringing the Twitter password back, and if you give it to Nikki, she will give you a wish. It's either going to be a bad wish or a good wish. But you have to find her to give her the password.
Right.
So, your thoughts on that, Mom?
I liked it when they did it a couple years ago.
Back in the day, you meant.
Back in the day. And I'm glad they're bringing it back. People like that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's everything that's going to be there at Horror Nights. There's nothing else to talk about. Absolutely nothing. Okay. I had to do it what John Murdy did at Midsummer Scream. The last thing that has not been officially announced is if we're going to have a show in the Waterworld Arena, in the DreamWorks Theater. We don't know what's going to be in the DreamWorks Theater. If they do announce something, I might do a short video talking about it. But I'm not going to do a long video like I'm doing for this.
Usually that one's the last one that they announced.
Uh-huh.
Last year they did it like 2 weeks before.
No, I think it was like 3 days before.
3 days before. So, he might do it 3 days, 5 days before. Who knows?
Right.
Or maybe we aren't going to have a show in there.
We don't know. So, we don't know if there's going to be anything in the DreamWorks Theater or if they are doing something, but they haven't announced it yet. So, but everything else was announced. So, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up this video, we're going to confirm everything that's there at Horror Nights and show you on the speculation map from Mr. HHN Nightmare, so you guys know where everything is. So here we go. So this is the final speculation map from Mr. HHN Nightmare. And we're going to break down everything where everything is really quick so you guys know. So starting from the upper lot to the lower lot. We have Sinners. That's going to be in the UBE building, better known as the formal Walking Dead attraction. In Persian Courtyard, we have Kill Senora, which was confirmed at Midsummer Scream. On H Lot Tent 1, we have Hellraiser. In H Lot Tent 2 is going to be Evil Dead Burns. The Terror Tram this year is Terror Tram starring Art the Clown. Going down to the lower lot, we have behind the Mummy is the Ozzy Osbourne maze. Behind Jurassic, we have the second original maze. The first original maze was the Kill Senora. The second original maze is a sequel to Universal Hotel from 2022, which is we call it the Triple D, but it's called Deadlier, Deadliest, the continuation story of Masked Maxie DeVille. In Soundstage 15, we have Stranger Things 5 based off season 5. And then on the T-pad, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Scare Zones.
The chainsaw guys in the front.
Chainsaw Guys and Girls, which is Hackers on New York Street, is going to be Fortnite Nightmares. At this time, we don't know. In front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is going to be the Murder of Crows. That's where it was last year as an official scare zone, but this year they're calling it a street experience. So we don't know exactly where Murder of Crows is, but we think it's going to be back in front of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but we'll see where it is this year. French Street Scare Zone is going to be the Circus de la Montagne. We know that for sure.
That's the one that you get all the
Sierra
and the scare zones right there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have an entrance scare zone in front of the studio tour, which is the Blood Banshee. And then, as we did mention, the Murder of Crows, they're calling it a street experience this year, but we don't know exactly where it's going to be. Then we have the Streak of the Banshee, which is that four-legged character. We don't know exactly where that street experience is going to be. Then we have the one from Japan, which is the Hamakuma is coming back. I don't know if that's going to be a photo op or he's going to be walking around somewhere at Universal. And then, of course, on the Universal Plaza, we have the characters and Stilt Walkers for Day of the Dead, where they also have food and drinks as well. And then we have Art the Clown returning as a roaming character. And then for the first time ever this year, we have Nikki from Reception. That's going to be also a roaming character as well. And as we just talked about, also they're bringing back the Twitter password. And if you find Nikki, she will give you either a good wish or a bad wish. And then the final thing that we still don't know about is what's going to be in the DreamWorks Theater. And we do know, confirm, that in the Waterworld Arena is going to be the Purge Deadliest Water Stunt Show. So that is everything for Horror Nights. The only thing we don't know is what's going to be in the DreamWorks Theater. I hope it's going to be a good show. I hope they announce it soon. And that's all I'm going to say. So, Mom, your final thoughts for this year's Halloween Horror Nights.
It's going to be a good year. I'm not looking forward for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. When they announced it, like, no, can't be happening. But all the other mazes are going to be good. I'm looking forward to them. And the Scare Zone Art the Clown, I'm glad they're doing a different terror tram. I'm just happy this year is going to be really, really good. What about you, James?
Yeah, I'm happy too. Like this year, it's going to be some great mazes. As we said, we will be there on opening night. We are only getting the general admission tickets, but we are planning to go back at least 2 more times after opening night. So a total of 3 times, maybe 4 times. So this year we'll be able to go through every single maze live. Not like what we like last year we only went once and that was it. But this year we're planning to go at least 3 to 4 times this year. So we will be there on opening night. I want to thank my co-host Marcia for joining me again for this video/podcast.
You're always welcome.
And if you guys want to follow my co-host Marcia on her social media sites, she has Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, and both of her usernames on that is Marcia Fan 1960. And then if you want to follow me, your host, James, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or X, formerly known as Twitter. And I also post on the YouTube post page. So, just to let you guys know, so on some of the social media sites, I'm known as Jimmy Pancakes 20. And then on some of the social media sites, I'm known as Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show. So if you're following me as Jimmy Pancakes 20 or Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show, both of those usernames are me and you are following me. And on Twitter as well as on Instagram as well as X, I have the blue check mark. So if you have the blue check mark for Jimmy Pancakes 20, Jimmy Pancakes 20 on X, formerly known as TikTok. X, formerly known as Twitter, or on my Instagram, if you have Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show with the blue check mark, you're following me because I know there's lots of Jimmy Pancakes 20. But those two are verified, and then my Facebook page is this Jimmy Pancakes 20 Show. And then on TikTok, I'm just known as Jimmy Pancakes 20. So, there you go. So, I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone for listening. Have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this YouTube video on YouTube or listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, or Podbean.com. We will catch you guys later. And remember, the Knott Scary Farm 2025 review video and the Knott Scary Farm full lineup for 2026 video will be coming out before we go to opening night next Thursday, September 3rd. So I will let you guys know on social media sites when those videos are up. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon. I was your host, James, aka Jimmy Pancakes 20, signing off, and catch you guys later. Bye-bye.